Unmuted.
You know, alphabetical order. A.
I put him last, so she said his name was first.
Because it's A and then S.
No,
and then
that
W.
way.
Mix it.
Stop right there.
Exactly.
Right there.
But he cares.
Is that Mr. Z
And it's
on
like
there?
price flight,
What
so it's
the?
not-
This is.
What
What's up, Mr. Z?
is he eating? So funny. Yeah, I was like, hold on.
All right. You guys are up. You can sign in. I need this stuff.
Sorry. So what? I'm still trash. It's not gonna change it. I'm scared.
I'm kidding.
I don't
My
care.
eyes right now.
No, I'm not paying attention to that.
I was like,
Hey, don't look at my mail.
You can put the names on the side if you want. I'm not really looking for that stuff. Just more of your questions, comments, and notes about it. So that right hand column is what I'm looking for. Then at the end, we'll have some time for the first document that's up.
Why is my lesson only one? Click present.
Where is it?
Oh my god. It's in the corner.
Don't bump
Present.
up against this stuff because
Oh.
somebody turned off the power last
Ali, come do it again.
Alright, so audience members, you guys take notes. You guys are jotting questions down. You have. You did the first question at the end. I did something after that. Okay?
All right.
Can I close the door? This one might be out.
Oh my god, I actually don't know.
All right, so our claim is sandbars developing in a river do not allow barges to travel by Ahmed, which is me, Selma, and Veronica. And some background info. Sandbars are common features of shorelines, and then they provide a pretty feature for boaters, swimmers, and surfers, but danger as well, as their shape and location change. They're revealed by hidden by tidal action.
Okay, so barges is a flat bottom boat for carrying freight typically on canals and rivers, either under its own power or towed by another. And then the sandbar is a long, narrow sand bank picked up by sediment, creating the sand bank.
How do waves form sandbars? Waves approaching a shoreline become shoaling, so like they get shallower and breaking a distance from the land as the body of water they cross becomes more shallow. The waves lose their forward momentum, causing a reverse current to form at the bottom as the water returns. This current picks up sand, silt, and rocks and carries it in a short distance. So like this is a picture. So like the water gets shallower here, and then it picks up the sand and then goes back. Next. How funny. All right. Sum up. Wait. No.
Read it.
I'm trying to go back. Okay. This is the next slide. Yeah.
Okay, so like the formation of sandbars can vary depending on like the tide and the current. So lower sea levels make them like emergent and are built up by deposits of sand, which causes them to remain exposed.
Who did this?
And then this is the background information from the China's mega dam, and we put the elevator in the dam that could lift the barges over sandbars. And then flood chambers decrease water levels, possibly
So, like,
getting rid of sandbars.
Yeah, so like from the video, these are like possible solutions to sandbars. We didn't like really do anything like that. Like what we did was go to the next slide. Go to the next
Back
slide.
or next?
Next. So like our variables were like the plastic, like the sand or whatever, the water, the rocks, and so our independent was the rocks because like we could change that, like that's what we were adding, so like stop the sandbars, and then the dependent was like the length of the river, you know, the width, and then the amount of sandbars.
And then our conflict was that barges need about 9 feet of depth, otherwise they get stuck, and because of that, the sandbars that form raise the river less than 9 feet. This results in the barges getting stuck, and only way to fix them is to take piece by piece out and connect it as a whole size to a puzzle.
So our initial run, so like we ran the experiments. We didn't put anything, rocks, just water, and then the sand. And then we measured the width of the river was 7 inches, and the length of the river 51 inches. And then, in the second run, we put rocks at the head of the river, and then we ran it through for like the same time, and then same control groups and everything. And heavy rocks towards the head. And then we ran it, and then we got, this was after results, so some sandbars formed here. It wasn't that bad.
So wait, so like basically with like our experiment, we only ran it like 2 times because like the first time was like the initial one, like to see like how the sandbars form and everything, and then the second time we like put the rocks up, and what we did is like we put the heavy like the real rocks like towards the front, like the mouth, no the head of the river, because like that's where like the current's like the strongest, and then we actually had no sandbars, so.
So rocks stop the sandbars from forming.
What? Sandbars. Sandbars. It's like
It's a
rock.
No, these are rocks.
Definition.
They look like gummy bears.
Plastic ones and like real ones.
Sam,
We couldn't do all real ones.
sandbars usually form at the mouth of the river, but didn't form. But like if it would form, it would form at the mouth of the river usually because of the curves in the river. And then we calculated the discharge. We got 70 millimeter per second.
So like it's 17 milliliters for 1 second. That's like how like you know it's like the river discharge. You know what I mean? It's like how fast it's going, and that stayed like constant like throughout like the experiment.
The two
time
runs.
it stayed the same. So like basically, the discharge doesn't really have any effect on the sandbars.
or possible errors that sandbars are very small, making it unrealistic. And then the small rocks can't represent the rocks or wall that would be made to prevent the formation of sandbars.
Especially because, like, realistically speaking, you can't just like separate all the sand. You can't just like build a wall. Like that's not how the real world works. Because like it affects like other things and like other parts of like nature and whatever. It probably wouldn't be that good for the environment.
Won't cost too much. And these are some examples of sandbars right here. So this is sandbars, and then there's a water citations. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions?
All right, you guys get the first question right side.
I see.
It wasn't that
That's a good question. All right, so what do you guys think it would take on a river then to just, I guess, what would be the impacts of that adding rocks or adding some sort of stone on the outside of the outer banks of the river? What would it do to the environment?
Like the river or like the other stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Well, for the river, as like probably it would stop at the sandbars, like because we tested that, and then like for the outside stuff, I don't know. I feel like it prevent like some of the like liquid to go to like the soil or whatever. You have a question now?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see
Okay, I was gonna say you had a chance. Yeah, I don't really know. Like, so that probably like cause like some plants to die and whatever, make it harder for things to drink or whatever.
And it'll be costly to like put a rock at every like river or put the rocks lined. No,
Isaac, what do you got?
Okay,
he should.
so in
He
your
nodded, she was like,
experiment, you took all the like the sand and some plastic stuff off the bottom.
Yeah.
But then in a river, if there's like the sand and rocks just on the bottom, would you have to cover that too to stop sandbars?
No, probably not. But like, we had to clear it because like otherwise how would we know like what we I'm like, am I what is he answering it or
No, you're answering.
No, you can go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
Okay, like realistically speaking, like for that, like we had to have it clear so like we could see the sandbars form. Like we're like probably would have put like there's already rocks on the floor, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
But
Thanks
thank
for
you.
the question. I appreciate you.
I don't appreciate it.
Cool. Good job, guys.
Bless you.
All right, everyone, want to go next?
Can we choose?
Yeah.
No, there's
Can I choose who goes next? Popcorn?
Jose. I Christian, you guys are up.
Yes.
No.
That's what I was gonna choose. Huh. What the?
I'm like, you guys just open up to the
Control Shift M.
You got it.
Just go. Just
Felt
go
like
to
I
your
easy
drive.
cut. You want me to go? What?
Yeah.
Come here.
Sign in.
For email, right? No, I don't have it. Great, and I gotta scroll through my email. Where's my email? Oh, there. There. Should I present?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Like damn presentation, right?
Okay.
Sediments and deposits.
So this is our major claim, and our claim is adding a dam to a water system causes an increase in sediment settling around the dam. And
Here's the video.
that's the video.
Muted.
Should have-
Muted. As water flows, it carries sediment down the stream, and we created a dam so that it could start to have more water flow and it could have a higher pressure, so it carries more sediment down.
So we can see the water flow carrying the sediments, but there is a small space between the two boards, the dam. But in reality, when you create a dam, it would block the entire area in the middle. So.
Stop it. Stop it.
Check that.
Yeah.
No. No, right now.
Yeah. Right, and some of the benefits of dams are that dams can help in control and prevent flooding, basically. And hydroelectric dams in particular can generate hydroelectric power. Dams can also provide recreational facilities throughout the United States, and they can help control debris and hazardous materials.
Variables of experiment. Amounts of pressure water is flowing at, sediment, the water level, the placement of the dam, the type of sediment, the type of dam.
Yeah, so these are just some of the variables, and this is an example of a hydroelectric dam here. And its power is produced as water passes through the hydroelectric dam and it's the river below. So that's how it functions. Right, and this is some of the vocabulary in our section. So the stream valley is a channel surrounding the terrain that directs water to the stream. The base level is the downward limit to the stream erosion, and
grade of stream, that's the necessary slope and other channel characteristics. The floodplain is the continuous lateral erosion. And terraces are remnants of a former floodplain. And the stream is obviously water that flows in a channel. These are just some of the extra vocabulary, the runoff, infiltration, river.
So we conducted our experiment with the intention of finding out whether adding a dam to a water system would increase sediment. First, we looked at the path in which the sediment was flowing without a dam, and then after that, we observed the same scenario with a dam. And there was a much slower rate of sediment flowing through the dam, which served as a barrier with the path of flow and change.
So some of the causes of sediment deposits is, for one, global warming. It can cause more intense storms and increase the unpredictability and the rate of reservoir sedimentation. Mudslides can also be caused by earthquakes, and volcanoes can also have a dramatic and unpredictable effect on reservoir sedimentation. And water flow or discharge is also another major factor. And in this picture, you can see the sedimentation around the dam on the other side. So.
Listing of sediment deposit watershed management, which includes adaptation and the promotion of farming practices, can lead to reduction of soil erosion after often considered by the best way to increase sediment deposition.
And this picture just represents trees that are planted around, which can help prevent sediment deposition.
So one of the more famous dams is the Three Gorges Dams, also known as China's Mega Dam. It's the largest dam in the world, spanning across the Yangtze River in China. It prevents an overflow of runoff water, just like a regular dam, but it also has dislocated over 1 million people, and it has caused a lot of damage to the environment. So it has positives and negatives. And our group's claim was that the creation of a dam would lead to an increase in sediment at the stream table. Obviously, with the creation of the Three Gorges Dams, the sediment would also increase. Simply put, the example of the Three Gorges Dams proved our claim to be true.
If we had more time, we would measure the amount of discharge without the dam versus with the dam. After, we would try different things. For example, we would build another small dam in front of it, or after the large one, we would measure the amount of discharge and see if that would benefit us.
These are just the citations. Presentation.
All right, you guys are first one. I got the second one.
Questions? Yeah.
Is the experiment that you did last year over there realistic to like things?
It is. It would be actually, when you create a dam, it would be different. Of course, the proportions would be different, and just some of the effects in the natural surroundings cause an effect as well. So it's a model, but yeah.
The video that you showed, it showed there's a gap between.
Yeah. In real life, the dam would block the.
Water.
It basically showed the stream flow that was flowing through it, but a dam would block the whole path.
So why do we care about sedimentation kind of dam? So
Disrupt everyday life.
Yeah, as I said, you can just disrupt everyday life, and it's not good for the natural habitat. And one of the solutions that we had on one of our slides was watershed management, which can be basically you can plant more trees to help prevent it, and yeah.
And how's that preventing? What do we recommend?
Of soil absorption, of rainwater and storms, flooding.
One of the big things they see with deforestation is you see a lot more sediment build up in rivers. And so we get a lot of soil erosion because the trees aren't holding on to that.
Yeah.
So basically, every time it rains, you're losing more and more soil. Okay? Right. Cool. Everybody else? Good job.
I got a lot of
Escape.
It's a
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
confused.
You're not the type to say sign out.
I was gonna say that.
Volunteer.
Bless you. Volunteers tribute?
Yes.
Yeah, true. You guys are.
Why?
Actually, we're not last, Veronica.
Really?
There's one more from back.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, you guys are.
Yeah.
Leave it.
He's gonna sign you automatically.
Remember?
No, it smells like weird.
I'm gonna sit on this shit.
Yeah, I know.
Talk about
Yeah, I know.
Huh? You wanna share with me?
It's gonna be uncomfortable.
Come on, just shut up. Sit down. Sit on a motorcycle. Sit down.
It smells like raw meat.
Oh, my.
Hey guys, it's Mary,
Ew, what
and
is
today
it?
we're gonna be vlogging about, and it's Money DIY, my guest speaker for today. And
I
Amy DIY.
Amy. Oh wait, this is the wrong one.
Oh what? Oh my god, what the heck was that?
I'm like, I'm not.
Alright, this is really like, who wants to say the title? Present.
Oh.
That's embarrassing.
Okay.
I'll share.
Guys, wait somewhere.
Let's introduce ourselves. Let's introduce ourselves.
I didn't do it.
Let's introduce
My
ourselves.
lines are showing. It's really like. It's okay. There's almost something. Let's introduce ourselves. Money DIY.
Amy DIY.
Money and Connie DIY. And Amy DIY. Okay, so I'm Money DIY. You're Connie DIY. Mary DIY. And DIY. Unless you don't want that. It's okay.
Wait, are we ready?
I want to say Am
We're
DIY.
waiting for.
I don't know.
Am do it yourself. Okay.
Okay,
You said we're ready.
so our project was on channelization.
Okay, go.
So our claim was channelization of a river causes more flooding and issues than good for surrounding communities.
This is a real life channel in Florida, and it's like guided by the wooden fences, whatever.
Okay, there's 3 types of channelization. The definition of channelization is engineering efforts that include the construction of artificial levees. Flood control dams are built to store floodwater, then release slowly in a controlled manner. Stream channels, open conduct consisted of a stream bed and banks that are at that act to confine flow during floods, and bedrock channels cut into the underlying strata and typically form in the headwaters of the river systems with steep slopes.
Channelization and depth continued. Alluvial channels form in a sediment that was previously deposited in the valley, and they could form floodplains, and they reflect the stream's ability to transport its load at a uniform rate. Meandering channels, streams that transport their load in suspension, they generally move in like a curve, and flows in deep and smooth channels, and transports also mud.
Okay, so here are some examples. Okay, so here is a real life example of a channelized river, and this is the Kissimmee River. So as you can see, like this is a natural river, and as you can see, it's like not as clean cut, and it's like surrounded by a lot of bushes and trees. And then here is a channelized river, and it has like clear banks, and it's like more of like a clean cut.
Fresh start.
Okay, so for our experiment, we created 2 channels, but before that, okay, the narrow channel was 8 by 2, 8
Length,
length,
and then
width, and
yeah,
by 2
and then height.
height, okay, and then 14 by 4. That was the wider one. So in the videos, you will notice that we have like independent and dependent and constant variables. So our constant variable were the wooden blocks, and we kept those constant, obviously, and we kept them at the side of the
channel. So like that's kind of like what'll stop the channel from flooding. Yes.
You'll see. You'll
and
see
then
like which worked and which didn't.
yeah, basically. Okay.
We had possible errors like the water velocity. Like we can't really control. Well, we can, but like in real life, we can't really control how fast the water goes, and the proportion.
Wait, what'd you say?
Questions for the end.
Okay, so here we will watch.
No, isn't that was +5?
Here we will watch the videos. No, I just put them like separate. Wait, is this the first one? Is this the narrow one or the wide one?
What happened to the video?
Because we had more than one. Okay, bear with me. Really? Okay, this is the. Shut the. This is one of
the wood blocks.
That's the constant variable, but that is the wider channel. Or no, this is the narrow channel that we created because as you can see, since the channel is so narrow and the walls are very like low and not like built up high, the water is like getting in between like the sediment and it's like making it erode and deposit throughout the rest of the channel. And then this is kind of, I'm kidding.
This is the good one.
Yes, this is the wider channel. Or wait, no. So here's the other channel.
This is when it was like successful. So.
And as you can see, there is no failures gone wrong with this one because the channel was a lot wider and there was more room for the water to move around instead of it flooding and
since there was more room, there wasn't a lot of pressure to like ruin the land around it, which was like the sand on the sides. Right.
So this is more data. So as you can see, the shorter, the more narrow channel with the shorter walls, the water, of course, like I said, seeped through and broke down the sediment, and that caused flooding because the water like went over the sediment. And then the tall one was successful because no flooding occurred. The water just like flowed smoothly. Yes. And that is all. This one's so much better in my head.
Any questions?
Comments, concerns?
So how many channels are there?
What?
What do you mean?
Like, could there be more than one channel?
That doesn't make sense.
Within one channel?
You want to reword that? There's different types.
Isaac has a
but it's generally.
Yes, Isaac.
All right. So in nature, would they be man-made, or would they be like man-made by humans?
No, but it is.
Like, would someone have to go out and make the channel, like so it would be like that shape?
I mean,
Or it just happen over time?
I mean, it could be interfered with human interaction.
Yes.
Generally, it's nature made.
My question is what do you mean by proportion?
Well, like proportion the amount of like sediment used, or like basically in real world, like the amount of sand they have and stuff. What water's velocity?
Like it's also like the amount of water that's passing through and that seeps. Yes. Right?
Isn't that what we like?
did water
It was based on the.
Oh my god, I forgot that thing.
What?
Let's go.
We're wrapping it up.
And thanks for listening.
Alright, last group.
I'm so over my life right now.
Volunteer?
How do I do this? Oh,
So we're not gonna switch. We're just gonna do like one person does like the first third, and then
yeah. How should I do this? Wait, how do I log out?
click on.
Oh, there.